What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mud. Welcome to day 11 of the Warboss Tay painting challenge. As you can see, I've decided to line up my guys next to similar models, all in rows. Uncle Festus, what are you doing in this video? And I've decided to start with the reds. So, not as much progress as I have been known for making, but then again, I didn't have too long to spend today. Started on the golds here. I actually was going to start with the golds and the silvers for all of them, then I realized it would be harder to get in underneath those once those are painted. For the sleeves and stuff, because of the armor, the shoulder plates, and the elbow plates, I decided to go with the reds. Sorry for shaky cam. There we go. And I've also continued dry brushing up this sentinel. Now it says to build up using a lot of nerdling green, which gives it this kind of greenish color. I'm not sure if I like it. I have to, or I'm going to go back and try to get more of a dry brushed, whitish, creamy bone color. But it said to go with nerdling green, so that's what I'm going with. And that kind of brings me to today's question of the day. Number 11. If you could be in any of the armies you paint, what army would you choose and what would you be? So, I have spent a lot of time thinking about this question. There are a couple of answers. Honorable mention has to go to the Goblin Doom Diver for Warhammer Fantasy Orcs and Goblins. And not sure if that's something that Feral Strike out there you might have considered, buddy, but the fact that most Night Goblins, or most Goblins, lead very horrible, short, painfully short lives, and that they decided to create this war machine where they could go out with a bang, have an awesome adrenaline-filled flying, almost, hundreds and hundreds of feet over their army, over their enemy's army, just flying like a little birdie, flapping their wings, their leather-made wings, and then getting to smash something on the way down, even though it means they're going to die. That strikes me as hilarious. So, that's definitely an honorable mention, but the job that I would most like to have would have to be a crewman for one of the Imperial Guard's war machines. I think they're awesome. The Sentinel, the Valkyrie, any of the positions on a Baneblade tank. I know conditions must be horrible and smoky and just really stressful and confusing with your commanding officer screaming orders at you through the Vox and getting rockets and missiles and all sorts of horrible things aimed at you and shot at you all the time, but considering the alternative, being a foot-slogging Imperial Guardsman, I think getting to pilot an awesome Sentinel or a Lehman Russ battle tank, I think that must be one of the coolest things in the world. So if you could be in any of the armies you paint, and if you could have one of the jobs, what would you be? Oh, also, I think it might be pretty cool to be a ratling, a little halfling in space with a sniper rifle, stealing everybody's stuff and cooking the best food. I think that might be fun. That brings me to another favorite role-playing game moment for those of you who want to stick around. If you are just watching for my update and for the daily question, that was it, so you can cut off now. But one of my favorite memories is we were playing a Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game, first edition campaign, and my players were trapped inside this inventor's house, and he makes all these crazy things like submarines and like Doom Diver wings for flying in the sky, and the local authorities wanted to catch him. They were out to get him, so they're banging on the door. The inventor had drove away, or I guess sank away in his submersible submarine. So my adventurers are there, like red-handed, at this inventor's house, and the authorities are knocking down the door. So they decide to disguise themselves as servants. So the fighter pretended to be like a bodyguard. The the wizard, the academic group of the group, he decided to be like the house, like butler guy, so he was quickly getting changed and going to stand by the door. And the halfling, who was a thief, decided to pretend to be the cook, but he had no cooking skill. He was that's why he was a thief, because he was a terrible cook, and that's why we decided he got kicked out of his village of halflings, because he couldn't cook, and so he couldn't take over his family business. So he became a thief, and he joined this group of adventurers, and now he's having to cook. He doesn't remember how, he doesn't know what he's doing, so he rolls his cooking skill, and he's got these negative modifiers because he's stressed out. He's a terrible cook, and the dice are not with him. And if you know a percentile dice roll game, where the goal is to roll as low as you can on 2 10-sided dice to get the lowest amount as possible, he rolled like a 98 or a 99 or something. So he like critically failed, and with all the negative modifiers and everything, we decided that the City Watch break down the front door, and there's our wizard's apprentice guy, and he's standing at the door, and he's like, "Hello, sirs. Welcome to Master Krugelschreiber's house. Could I be of assistance?" And there's the bodyguard standing quietly on the side, the dwarf Slayer from the last story, just kind of standing on the side with this ill-fitting outfit on. It just does not fit him because it was made for humans, and he's this huge dwarf, so he's like busting out of it, and the sleeves are too long and the pant legs are too long. So the City Watch is looking around. They see the maitre d', the butler. They see the dwarf troll slayer, and then they look towards the kitchen, and there's our halfling thief holding a boiling pot of water with a boot sticking out of it. And I decided that that's what his culinary extent would be, a masterpiece that he created called Boot Stew. So my player is there, and he's holding up this pot of water, and he's like, "Fancy a bowl of boot stew, sirs?" Oh, needless to say, there was much screaming and chasing after that. But another favorite memory of mine. So share yours, share your progress for today. Let us know what you would be if you could be in any of the armies that you play. And we will see you for tomorrow, day number 12.
Hey, when you gonna beat me, Dr. Fistus?